Hello, friends. Mrs. Damazi here and really excited about our next writing lesson together. If you like these videos, remember to subscribe and hit the thumbs up so you know every time I upload a new video. I am teaching out of Once Upon a Time, the curriculum from Lucy Calkins for 3rd grade writing, but any writer can really do this. Let's get started. Yesterday we talked about planning our writing because you're drafting a new draft. And so you know that writers don't only plan what they're going to write, they plan how they're going to accomplish their goals and how they're going to write and draft their new draft. Today, while you begin drafting, I want you to think about something that I've noticed a lot of fairy tales have. Let me begin by giving you an example. Fee, fi, fo, fum. I smell the blood of an Englishman. Little piggy, let me in. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. Trip, trap, trip, trap. Who's that walking on my bridge? Run, run as fast as you can. You can't catch me. I'm the gingerbread man. I bet you were able to say a lot of those things with me. And the reason you were able to is because you know them by heart. We have read these stories, we've heard them read to us, we've heard people story tell them so many times that we know these refrains. And these refrains, they're what add the tension and the excitement and the, ooh, is it gonna work out at the end feeling. It helps us as the reader have a feeling and to feel what's happening so that we don't only play a movie in our head, we also have a feeling of, I hope this works out. I really hope this works out, right? Today, you are going to decide what refrain might work in the draft you've already drafted, but also the new draft that you're drafting. So let's look right now at what we're going to focus on as we begin to draft our new adapted fairy tale. Because you already know how to draft an adapted fairy tale, but now we're going to work on drafting an even better one. And so today you're going to work on adding repeated refrains to add tension to your writing. Now, I'm thinking about the repeated refrains that I'm going to add to my writing. Remember, I'm writing a new adapted fairy tale about Little Red Riding Hood, and it's actually about Big Red Running Shoe. And so Big Red Running Shoe, I had to think, well, what kind of refrain might I use? Now, I know in Little Red Riding Hood, it's, oh, grandmother, what big ears you have. So I have to think about how I might change that. So on some sticky notes, I thought of some ideas. So the first one I thought of was when the bird is coming and kind of won't leave him. I thought he could say, oh, little bird, what little beak you have. Or, oh, little bird, what fast wings you have. And, oh, little bird, what tiny feet you have. And, oh, little bird, what minuscule eyes you have. I was trying to make them little, like the little bird, because it's opposite of the big bad wolf. This refrain, though, doesn't go until my 3rd scene. So I wrote this on a sticky note because I didn't plan to write my 3rd scene today. So this is something that I want to have ready. I just didn't need it yet. But I also thought I could add another refrain because why not? You could add more refrains. So I thought he could say something like this when he's walking to his basketball game. No, no, my mom said no. When strangers come, I will go. Because that's going to be part of it too, that he's not going to talk to any strangers or people, but he is going to talk to this little bird. This isn't part of what I'm writing today either, because today I didn't plan to write my 2nd scene. So for my 2nd and my 3rd scenes, these refrains that I'm planning to use, I can't put into my writing yet. So I wrote them on sticky notes, which you can do too. And then tomorrow when I plan to write these, I can add these refrains in. Let's look at our plan for today. If you're doing the same plan that I planned, that means you've already done all of day 1. So I've crossed those out. That means we're on day 2 and day 2 right here. So plan your fairy tale in 3 scenes, small stories. Remember, you're not storytelling yet. You're just planning how it's going to go. And then you act out or storytell each scene to add lifelike detail. But that's for today and tomorrow. So really, you only have to write 1 scene. So you plan out your scene and you write 1 scene. I'm going to share with you what I did today. So here's my plan. One day is how my whole story is going to start. Big Red Running Shoes is getting ready for his basketball game. His mom gives him snacks. I decided they should be muffins to take to the game, and he starts walking. That's the end of my first scene. Then my second scene. Then the little friendly bird comes and won't stop tweeting in his ear. She keeps asking for some crumbs from the muffins, and she won't leave him alone. So that's the end of my second scene. Obviously, other things are going to happen, but it's not time to storytell yet. I'm just planning. And then my third scene is finally he makes it to the game. Everyone is running out because there are birds everywhere, and he and the little bird become friends. Okay, so what I just did was I planned my fairy tale in 3 scenes, small stories. Now I have to act out and storytell each scene. That's for 2 days. So today I only planned and acted out my first scene, and I'm going to share that with you now. One day, Big Red Running Shoe's mother told him it was time to get ready for his basketball game. Big Red Running Shoe, yelled his mom, it is time for you to start walking to the gym for the big game. She handed him the basket full of homemade blueberry muffins. The smell was amazing, and when it hit Big Red Running Shoe's nose, he closed his eyes and savored the sweet smell. He began to reach into his basket for a small little taste. Whack! Don't you be sneaking any bites before the game, his mom said, smacking his wrist. And remember, go straight to the game and don't dawdle. Yes, Mom, I know, he said, and I won't talk to any strangers. That's my good boy. Okay, notice I only planned my 3 scenes and I only drafted 1 scene. That's all you need to do today and to come up with your refrain. If your refrain starts in the first scene, great. You can start adding it into your first scene. Let's look at our checklist today. Today, while you're working, you're going to remember that writers know that fairy tales are story told and that repeated refrains help to add tension and strong feelings to their writing. So the first thing you're going to do is brainstorm a repeated refrain to add to your adapted fairy tale. I would suggest putting them on the sticky notes. Then you're going to complete your plan for day 2. Remember, my plan for day 2 was to figure out what my 3 scenes were and to draft my first scene. You need your notebook for planning, brainstorming, and drafting, and you're probably going to need sticky notes or scrap paper to add your ideas today. Okay, writers, have so much fun coming up with a refrain that you never know. People might be saying over and over and over again for years and years and years because your fairy tale just might become famous. Have fun and keep writing. Bye.